We've all heard the story, right? Go to college, land a good job, save 10% of every paycheck, and one day, when you're 65, you'll finally retire a millionaire. But what if that safe path is actually the biggest financial trap of all? MJ DeMarco's book, The Millionaire Fastlane, argues that this traditional advice is a recipe for mediocrity, a promise of wealth in a wheelchair. He says the whole get-rich-slow plan is just a delay tactic in a fancy suit. In this video, we're breaking down the playbook he used to achieve financial freedom at 33 and how you can get off the slow road and into the fast lane. Section 1. The 3 financial roadmaps. To really get the fast lane, you first have to understand the roads most people are stuck on. DeMarco says society basically pushes us down 2 dead-end streets, making sure we never reach real wealth or freedom. First, you've got the sidewalk. This is the road to financial chaos. Sidewalkers live paycheck to paycheck, constantly chasing the next hit of instant gratification. They're usually drowning in debt, have zero long-term plan, and are always just one car repair away from total disaster. This isn't just about being broke. It's a mindset of consuming everything and planning for nothing, which makes building wealth totally impossible. Then there's the path we're all told is the smart one. The slow lane. This is the classic script. Go to school, get a good job, max out your 401k, and someday, when you're old, you'll be rich. On the surface, it sounds responsible. Slow laners are great savers. They're disciplined. They follow all the rules. But here's the flaw DeMarco points out. Your wealth is built by trading your time for money. Your life is the currency. You trade your youth, your energy, and your freedom for 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, for 40 long years. Your entire plan depends on things you can't control. A stable job market, a booming stock market, and your health holding up for decades. You might get to the finish line with a pile of cash, but with no time or energy left to actually enjoy it. He doesn't call this a path to wealth. He calls it a path to endurance. Section 2. The solution. The Millionaire Fastlane. And that brings us to the alternative. The fast lane. The fast lane isn't about working a job. It's about building a business. It's not about saving 10% of your income. It's about creating explosive growth and saving 90%. It's a complete flip of the script. Instead of trading your time for money, you build systems that work for you. The goal is to build wealth fast, so you can have your freedom while you're still young enough to use it. And this isn't just some theory, MJ DeMarco lived it. He grew up watching a single mom struggle, and it lit a fire in him to control his own future. The light bulb moment came when he was a teenager. He saw a young guy, maybe 25, getting into a Lamborghini. DeMarco worked up the courage to ask him what he did for a living, half expecting him to be a pro athlete or a rock star. The man's answer changed his life. I'm an inventor. That one word shattered DeMarco's belief that you had to be famous to be young and rich. He realized he could use his brain to create something valuable. Now the path wasn't easy. He spent his 20s failing at one business after another, working odd jobs as a limo driver and living with his mom. But those struggles gave him his million-dollar idea. While driving that limo, he saw a huge need that no one was filling. This led him to build a limousine booking website. He poured everything into it, working 80-hour weeks, coding and marketing it all from his apartment. Eventually, that business became a system, a machine that made money while he slept. One day it would make $2,000, the next $4,000, then $8,000. It grew exponentially. He eventually sold the company for millions of dollars, cashing out as a multimillionaire at 33, and yes, buying his own Lamborghini. His story is proof that the fast lane isn't a get-rich-easy scam. It's a get-rich-faster framework that takes a ton of work up front to build a system that can print money on its own. Section 3. The 5 fast lane commandments. The Sense framework. So how do you actually build a fast lane business? DeMarco gives us a killer filter called the Sense framework. These are the 5 rules your business has to follow. If your idea breaks one of these, you're probably driving in the slow lane. Commandment 1. the commandment of control. You have to be in the driver's seat. If you're building your entire empire on someone else's land, like depending only on an Instagram page or Amazon for all your sales, you're not in control. They can change an algorithm, suspend your account, or just kick you off, and your income disappears overnight. A real Fastlane business means you own your platform, your customer list, and your future. Commandment 2, the commandment of entry. This one feels backwards at first. The easier it is to start a business, the worse that business probably is. Why? Because a low barrier to entry means insane competition. If anyone can do what you do in an afternoon with a laptop, the market gets flooded and profits get driven down to zero. A true Fastlane business has a high barrier to entry. Not necessarily money, but maybe a rare skill, a complex system, or knowledge that took you years to build. You want to play a game that most people can't. Commandment 3, the commandment of need. This is the absolute foundation of any real business. Your business must solve a problem or fill a real need. Money follows value. The market doesn't care about your passions. That popular advice to do what you love is dangerous unless what you love happens to solve a problem for a ton of people. Stop chasing your passion and start chasing needs. The money you make is just a scorecard for how much value you're providing. Commandment 4, the commandment of time. A Fastlane business has to be detached from your time. If you have to be there to make money, like a consultant billing by the hour or a barber cutting hair, you don't have a business, you have a high-paying job. You're still stuck in the time for money trap. The whole point is to build a money tree that produces fruit 24/7, whether you're working, sleeping, or on vacation. This could be software, an ebook, or an e-commerce store with automated shipping. Commandment 5, the commandment of scale. Your business needs the potential to go big. It has to serve a huge market, not just your town, but your country, or even the whole world. This is what DeMarco calls the law of affection. The more lives you affect, the richer you become. You can either sell a cheap product to millions of people, that's scale, or a very expensive, high-impact product to a few, that's magnitude. Without scale, your income will always have a ceiling. Section 4, the mindset shift. Following these rules isn't just a to-do list. It requires a complete shift in how you see the world. You have to transform from a consumer into a producer. Instead of looking for the next thing to buy, you start looking for problems to solve. Instead of complaining about bad service at a restaurant, you start asking, how could I build a business that does this way better? DeMarco also redefines wealth. It's not just a number in a bank account. He says true wealth is a tripod: family, your relationships, fitness, your health, and freedom, your choices. What good are millions of dollars if you have no one to share them with? You're too sick to enjoy them, or you have no time to do what you actually want. This all leads to his new equation for wealth. Wealth yields net profit plus asset value. You aren't just earning an income, you're building an asset, your business, that grows in value and can eventually be sold for a massive, life-changing payday. That is how you create true freedom. Look, the message of the Millionaire Fastlane is simple but revolutionary. The slow lane, the path of trading your time for money, is a 40-year gamble with your life as the wager. The fast lane is the alternative, an intense all-in period of building and creating, followed by a lifetime of freedom. It's not about getting rich easy. It's about getting rich faster by building systems that create value at scale. It's about you finally grabbing the steering wheel of your own financial life. If this breakdown challenged your perspective on wealth, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into financial freedom. And I really want to know, let me know in the comments. What's the biggest lesson you're taking away from the fast lane? Are you on the sidewalk, the slow lane, or are you already building your fast lane?